Hey, what's going on out there? Thanks so much for clicking that button. You probably saw what the title said, 2016 Husky Football. Let me introduce to you a good friend of mine. This is my friend Art. Art,
How you doing?
That's them.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on.
We're happy. I'm happy you're here.
I'm excited.
But let's go ahead and talk about Husky football. Let's let this happen.
Oh man, do we have to?
We get to.
Yes.
2016 season. Huskies are pre-ranked in most rankings at 17. Tell me, Art, is that overrated, underrated?
I know all these preseason rankings. I mean, why do we have to have so many? I mean, anybody can have we should have our own poll next year, just because. I mean, we might as well. I mean, I love the good pressure. I do, because we've earned it. We've recruited well the last couple seasons. I mean, we've been patient. Everything's been going as according as planned. I think we've underachieved and overachieved at times. But I do think we're overrated right now, just based on the fact we can't move the ball the last 2 years consistently. If I knew Myles Gaskin was getting the ball 25 times every game, nothing to worry about. The fact that in 2 years under Peterson, we've had so many quarterbacks, and I know it's nice to have Browning now, but the system to me, I know it's improved with the young players. We don't have an identity on offense.
Okay.
And it's weird because when Peterson first got here, you just assumed that, we just score and keep scoring. But, it's been the opposite. I think our defense has got the raw end of the stick the last couple of years with no help.
Let's get to the defense in a minute, but
yeah,
you're right about no identity because, first of all, I miss a fullback. We don't have a tight end game that's consistent, and I think that can be such a valuable piece. So, yeah, there are some offensive woes, but luckily with all these starters coming back, we'll see what happens.
I'm not really necessarily worried about a certain position. I'm more worried about the play calling and like I said, the offensive identity. I think they just don't have it. Like I said, give the ball to Myles Gaskin 25 times a game. You have nothing to worry about.
And you know what?
You
what
have
a
nothing to worry
compliment.
about.
Yeah, you run the ball well, and you got great defense. I mean, this defense is going to set this offense up nicely.
Yeah, and I think the problem is they try to get too cute too often. And I don't think there's any excuses here. You have the players to do it, and it's time to execute. And if you don't execute, then, well,
off with their heads.
Exactly.
Pac-12 is returning best defense in the league last season.
By far.
And they're looking even better now. What's up with that?
I'm loving it. And it's just one of those things where we're the only team in the conference that can play defense, and we're the only team in the conference that can defend the pass, but yet we can't move the ball. And I'm sorry I went back to the offense again, but
it's fine.
But keep throwing it, everyone. Keep throwing the ball.
Kevin King.
Love him.
Wow, right? I mean,
he can play any position in the secondary. The guy is a freak.
He's already
and he's underrated too. He's NFL scouts wise not, but in terms of, I feel like he's underrated on our team even.
Even Buda Baker. I mean, enjoy it, guys. Enjoy Husky Nation, because Buda Baker's gone after this year.
He should.
We put on like 19 pounds of muscle this offseason.
Yeah, he's ready. He's definitely ready.
So defense looks good.
Worried about the pass rusher a little bit. We need to get some pass rushers.
Elijah Qualls, right?
We got. I mean, off the edge. We went from Kaha. I don't care what anybody says. Corey Littleton and Travis Feeney are actually going to be big losses. I know that those aren't sexy names.
Corey Dennison was a big loss. I mean, I feel like any linebacker we have usually excels pretty nicely.
And we got a lot of guys that redshirted Big Pateo away, hopefully. I had my hopes high for him. I was shocked that he redshirted. Then I found out why. We were that deep. I'm excited for all. I love the guys that you forget about when they redshirt.
Oh, yeah.
And while you forgot about them, they were just in the gym getting bigger and stronger every day.
We got one incoming freshman, Sean McGrew.
Yeah.
Is he going to be fun to watch?
If that offensive system is working, it will be. If not, then he might be playing cornerback like they had to have John Ross do. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I've seen some photos.
Yeah, I'm
the huddle.
Talk about...
Dude.
Man.
He's a small...
But he looks tiny.
Either our players are just huge...
Which I think they are. I mean, they are. We're big. We're a big, mean group. Okay. I love it.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching this McGrew kid play.
I am too.
So, okay, well... I don't know how much you want to talk about recruiting. Do we want to talk about the fact that...
Well, we're Husky fans. That's all we talk about.
Okay, recruiting. What do you know about recruiting? The class I mean, does anyone stand out to you, or who are some people we're trying
honestly,
to get?
I'm kind of old school when it comes to the more guys you redshirt means the better your roster is. We're at the point right now with our 4 deeps that, I mean, anybody that's redshirting I'm taking as a compliment. Can you imagine if we had the redshirt Eifler or Brandon Wellington. That just shows you how deep we are. And honestly, they both could redshirt. So it's a good problem to have.
I'd say we're sitting pretty good at recruiting right now.
I'm impressed. When Peterson first got the job, I was worried about the recruiting. I thought we were scoring 100 points a game and not be able to recruit the guys I like. I love the recruiting, and I just want to score 30 points a game.
No, there's some big games this season. I'd say that there's about 4 of them we're talking about right now.
Okay.
Arguably, I don't want to jinx anything, but we start off the Pac-12 schedule at Arizona, but let's be real. The following Friday, we're taking on Stanford. That is must-see TV. Is that on NBC?
I don't know.
Stanford's got a big quarterback coming in. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but either way, they're both 6'5", 230 pounds. That's a big boy.
Yep, probably book smart. Probably not that much street smart.
Are we built to win this game?
Yeah, we are.
Good enough for me.
Nice.
All right, let's talk about how about the Oregon game? At Oregon this year.
We're not going to it, right?
Hell no.
Okay, good. And by the way, going to Autzen Stadium, if you're not from the Northwest, you expect there to be this big tailgate, all this blah blah. They don't even have a good sound system at stadium. The Jumbotron's tiny. The tailgate is awful. They like tailgating on gravel. There's nothing to do there. And by the way, then before and after the game, if Oregon State plays the same game, which you better look up if you're an away fan, or even if you're a fan of an Oregon school, you're just going to be on I-5 the whole time in some parade with bad sports talk. It's not a good road trip. Even if you win the game, you're like, oh great, now we got to drive 6 hours to Seattle. The game day experience there, it has nothing to do with wins or losses. It's an overhyped, hey, if you have all this money, Nike, in Oregon, buy a scoreboard, buy a sound system. It's just the people that rank it top 10 place to go visit. Why would you want to go to Eugene and go to that stadium?
Speaking of streaks, Arizona State, they also have a streak on us too. Oregon, you're not that unique. You're not that special. Arizona State, they're coming to our place late in the season. I don't like Todd Graham.
Well,
I don't like his haircut.
I think he's he's a weird coach that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you know what though? The guy they lost went to Memphis, Norville. He didn't get that much credit at Arizona State. That guy's a hell of a coach. Todd Graham's a defensive mind. I do respect him as a coach, but geez, I just can't handle from the earpiece to the boots. And Arizona State, bring back your old logo, man. I don't know really?
This Utah game's this should get some more publicity, actually, because you brought up some pretty good points, Art. Now, why is this game at Utah pretty important to UW football and its offensive coordinator?
Let's put it this way. Jonathan Smith, if you don't have an offense by the Utah game, and Troy Williams, a guy you couldn't use for your system, that your non-existent system that didn't exist then or currently now, you're going to be looking real bad when ESPN's telling everyone, hey, remember this guy that couldn't start at UW?
What position is Troy Williams?
Quarterback, Utah. He highly recruited guy, elite 11 quarterback, Narbonne High School. Throws a beautiful ball. He started one game for the Huskies. It was Arizona State 2 years ago, the monsoon game. And it's just, I don't know what happened. We'll never know. It was around the same time as the Marcus Peters incident. It was just a bunch of SART guys with a new coaching staff. What do you expect? I just think that Troy Williams at the end of the day got a raw deal. And now he won Utah's starting job. Because Troy Williams, no matter how you slice it, he's going to come in determined, and he's going to be the home quarterback.
This game is marked on his schedule.
Jake Browning's been a nice addition. I'm a big Jake Browning guy. But you know what? Troy Williams, with their offense, and who knows what that's going to be like too, but I just think that Troy Williams is in a good place to succeed, especially against your old team. It's one of those situations where it's going to be Jonathan Smith versus Troy Williams. Because, and you say what you want, but if you're an offensive coordinator in this conference, pressure comes with the job. Shit doesn't run uphill. Mm-hmm. And if our offense hasn't matured in year 3 at that mark of the season,
right? What
do you expect?
I expect him to pull a Nick Holt and say, see you, Nick, take your reading glasses, get out of here. We got to find someone else who's going to get the job done.
And thank God, what do you know? We have Tedford as an offensive consultant, and think of it as Chris Peterson has been an offensive coordinator. It's not like he can't call a play or two.
Sure.
Just ask Oklahoma.
All right, so over-under. I want you to tell me 10 wins. Over-under. Do you think they're going to do it? Is that the proper way to ask that?
Well, no, because here's the thing. So we have 12 regular season games. if you win 10, I mean, depending on the Pac-12 North, if we get to the title game, so that means it'd be 13 in a bowl game. That's 14 games. So technically, you could win 10. You'd be 10-4.
Okay.
I think we're good enough to be 10-4. But are we going to be eligible
10 games?
In regular season?
The whole
alone?
kit and caboodle. Are we
The
gonna
whole
win
kit
10
and
games?
caboodle, yes, because we'll win a bowl game or we'll get to 10 wins. But is it going to be 10-4, or is it going to be? You see, I'd rather take that maybe. It depends on how you get to that win.
This
That's why
feels harder than it should be.
Yeah.
So I guess, are we going to win 11 games?
No. I think we're a year away. I really do. I mean, it's just all because of that offense. If we had any sort of
Well, it's
idea.
only getting scarier. I mean, what a great year this is going to be. If we're a year away, wow, what a great ride it's going to be.
Yeah, I just want. There's not enough proof in the. I mean, our defense. I mean, we could use our second string, and might still. I mean, we're that loaded on defense.
This pleases
I think
me.
with the helmets this year.
Well, I'm glad we're trying to protect our kids' heads. And
No, I meant the style.
I feel like they look a little large, like Penn State
Oh, really?
large. I think you made a good point. It'll be nice to see them just wear one style of helmet the whole damn year.
But unless it's bad. You don't want to wear one bad helmet all year. Like, oh yeah, that was the
Yeah.
year that. Because you know how it is. You look back at old pictures, like, oh, that was the year that.
If I did, I'd
We
wanna
wore
watch
old
Penn
Navy
State.
W helmets with white, you know what I mean? It's just one of
Right.
those things that I think it'd be nice to wear gold all year once. I mean, it's not like
Mighty
those
old
white
men.
helmets are
Who wear the purple and the gold.
those white helmets are
They're rough.
just they're ugly.
Those
And those
give
chrome
you-
helmets are nice until someone hits them and then they have like a paint mark near their team on.
That's
I mean, if you're a true Husky fan, you come out of that tunnel wearing that gold helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, it just there's something about it. There's a reason. There's
Yeah. It's funny that we don't have any purple helmets.
Hey, do you want to wait a quarter and a half for one drink? Well, then come to the zone and not root your team on. Get rid of it now. We're the best tailgate in the conference. Get rid of it.
You can
There's
tailgate, you can tailgate.
Either you have it accessible to where you can get a drink in under 5 minutes, then do it. But if you got to wait a quarter and a half, because these dumb Seattle clones will do that. They'll go wait in line for an hour and a
It's an
half.
amber ale,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, can I get like 2 of those? I mean, what are you really going to get? You can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, that'll be $29.
Oh, and by the way, you're labeled going to the game, so you get your Instagram photo and all that, your Snapchat, whatever. But you're not at the game. You're not cheering. You're not there. We have the best tailgate. I mean, I'm not endorsing this, but worst case, do what all of our founding fathers did and sneak the booze in. You can sneak something this big in the Husky Stadium. We've done it.
You really can.
And we were underage, maybe.
Probably.
And then you go like this when the game's going. I didn't miss a quarter and a half of the game. What do you know, guys?
We were here. We conquered. We talked Husky football. We talked all kinds of topics. I say we do this on the bye week. Gotta talk about what we talked about.
Bye week's middle of the season.
Middle of the season. I'd take Kellen Moore over him right now.
I'd take Kellen Keller over Jonathan Smith, honestly.
Yeah.
At least he could randomly pick a good play. Jonathan Smith looking at it's not going to do anything.